I don't know, with problematic people, sometimes people will show themselves to you, and you could either choose to listen or choose to ignore it. And yeah, so with the new things I see happening, again, it's all alleged. I don't know if anything is true, but I mean, if it were to be true, I'm not surprised. And I worry about the ethics. I worry about the fact that his whole new fan base is kids. Like, the reason he is having a resurgence is because it is children who are discovering him for the first time. And it's funny because there's a huge narrative online. I saw a lot during Coachella, people being like, oh my God, James is actually so funny. Like, why do we hate him? And I'm realizing, like, the people don't know. People don't know why he has a bad reputation. Kids don't understand why. And they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to understand why. Like, that is not something that kids should be faced with. And, I don't know.
You guys, James Charles is back in the spotlight, and not in a good way. His name's been buzzing all over again, and this time it's tied up in some messy drama involving a familiar face. Kayla Malik dropped a bomb when she exposed her ex, Evan Johnson, and guess who popped up in that mix? Yup, James Charles was reportedly involved with Evan too. People are eating this story up, and it's only getting crazier as more behind-the-scenes tea spills.
Just letting everyone in Australia know that James Charles is sleeping with Evan Johnson, the one that broke Kayla Malik's jaw and the one that was in prison. James Charles has been housing flying him out to sleep with him.
Not long ago, I made a video laying it all out. James isn't just catching heat for being shady, but for falling right back into his old behavior. After years of trying to clean up his image, launch his makeup line, and win over a new wave of fans, he's once again under a microscope. James had folks in his corner lately, too. A lot of newer fans who didn't know the full backstory were flooding his comment section like, "Wait, why does everyone hate him?" or saying things like, "He's actually pretty funny, I don't get the hate." But now, boom, all those old receipts are resurfacing, and people are being reminded exactly why he keeps getting called out.
Man, yeah, James, you're fucked, kid. We're gonna need like 27 more crying apologies. Not only is this guy a P3DO, you get it, befriended this Kayla girl who vented to him about her boyfriend and then went behind Kayla's back to smash or get smashed by this. I know he's just shit right now. Like, he is so terrified. He's trying to hire like 19 PR teams to try to clean up this mess, and they're responding like, "No, kid, you're cooked." Kind of awesome now. People are starting to hold him accountable for his disgusting acts. So, James, you're cooked.
Kayla's videos about Evan really opened the floodgates. She exposed what she went through, revealing some seriously heartbreaking stuff. The internet had her back instantly, with tons of people showing love and support after she shared the painful truth about what went down in that relationship. And now, with James tangled in this too, the drama's only getting messier by the minute. Things got even messier when one of Evan's former friends stepped up to back Kayla and dropped some serious tea. This friend didn't just show support. They spilled that James Charles is deep in this situation, way more than people first thought.
They were in communication every single day. When I speak on that I was with Evan every single day, I was with Evan majority of every single day. The only time I was not with Evan was when he went to Miami and then when he went to California. The times that I was with him, James would use Instagram as his Snapchat. And I didn't know, like, was not aware, like, why does James not have Snapchat? Like, why is he using Instagram photos, sending back and forth?
I can tell you why he doesn't have Snapchat.
Apparently, James was still messing with Evan, even though he knew everything that went down between Evan and Kayla. That's right, despite being cool with Kayla, James was allegedly cozying up with her ex like nothing ever happened. It's not just about bad friendship anymore. People are calling James out for possibly housing Evan and even giving him advice while the internet was dragging him for how he treated Kayla. That's a wild move, especially when you're fully aware of someone's ugly past and still choosing to stand by them behind closed doors. Zach, one of Evan's old friends, dropped his own video admitting he was cool with Evan up until recently. But after watching Kayla's emotional post, he completely flipped and said he stands with her now, full stop. Meanwhile, James? Silent. He hasn't said anything publicly. Not a tweet, not a post, nothing. And let's be real, he could have at least put out a basic statement, something like, He told me a different version of events, but after watching Kayla's video, I'm disgusted. Sure, it wouldn't make him look like best friend of the year, but at least it would show some awareness. Instead, people are pointing out that James hasn't even addressed the fact that he keeps getting involved with guys who are barely out of high school.
Evan sharing the snaps with you, were you looking over his shoulder? Like, how did you see it? Was he kind of showing you and thought it was funny? Like,
So at the beginning, he was showing me the snaps and thought I guess it was funny.
like, oh, look, I'm snapping James Charles.
And I'm getting, pictures.
Yeah.
But as time went by, it seemed like the friendship/relationship got very private.
Right.
After it got very private, James had changed the mode on Instagram to vanish mode.
He's been known to do that.
So everything that was getting sent, it would like get sent and be completely gone. A message would go away. Yeah, just like Snapchat.
Ones who aren't even old enough to grab a legal drink in the US raises major questions like, why would you be giving shelter and advice to someone dealing with those kinds of accusations? Instead of clearing the air, James is staying quiet, hoping the storm will pass. But nope, it's only getting louder. More creators are chiming in now. Even Antonio Garza jumped into the conversation and dropped a video about the whole thing. And it's not just one or two people speaking up. Michaela Testa came in hot and straight up called James out by name. She didn't hold back either. James is catching heat from all angles right now, and folks are being reminded exactly why they stopped trusting him in the first place. His rep's crumbling again, and it's like, what is he even thinking? Seriously, what is James doing? It's like he's stuck in a loop. He messes up, drops a half-hearted apology, disappears for a while, then slowly starts posting again like nothing ever happened. The confidence creeps back in, he starts acting like everything's chill, and then bam! Another scandal drops, and surprise, it's just like the last one.
From speaking to Kayla, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, there was a situation where James Charles had wanted Evan Johnson and Kayla Malik to do a promotional material for his painted company for Valentine's Day, kind of having them be a couple of some kind, probably for his blush launch or something like that. Looking back, that's obviously a little bit creepy because knowing that the entire time he was interacting with them, he wanted Kayla out of the picture and he's really the one that wanted Evan, that's already a little bit bizarre.
Yes.
So then James had reached out to Kayla and said something along the lines of, are we still good to do this Valentine's Day project? And Kayla said, oh, so funny, actually, we literally just broke up yesterday. Evan did some of the worst things a human being could ever do to someone to me. Explain the situation. And then James said something.
So James came back after she said that and was like, can I have him now? Kayla thought he was completely joking. Like, literally thought her best friend, which is, James at the time, was just joking with her, saying that.
But that's already like a really inappropriate joke.
Yeah, that's...
Even if it is, but little did we know he wasn't joking at all.
People are fed up with the same old act. Nothing's really changed except where he's sliding into people's DMs. Used to be Snapchat, now it's Instagram. He says he's asking for IDs now, trying to cover himself, but let's be real, that doesn't erase the pattern. Folks are pointing out that he's still targeting the same type of people, and it's making everyone uncomfortable. And this time, it's not just about his sketchy behavior with who he talks to, it's also about the way he treats the people around him.
As far as I know, his sexuality, Evan was straight.
Right, and it's hard to speculate because obviously it exists on a spectrum, but for the most part, he operated and identified as a straight man, which is actually James Charles's type.
Even as a friend, James is looking real shady. Supporting someone like Evan while knowing what went down with Kayla, that's a huge betrayal. It's not just messy, it's cold. The silence, the pattern, the fake fresh starts. It's all coming back to haunt him. And now that more voices are chiming in, this isn't going away quietly. James isn't just facing public backlash. He's burning bridges again, and people are finally done pretending it's not a problem. Zach recently sat down for a full-on deep dive interview with the Be Better Company channel. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a casual chat. This thing was nearly an hour long, and it was loaded with details about James, Evan, and the messy relationship dynamic between them. During the interview, Zach broke down how it all started. First, he said Evan was just joking around in James's DMs, like it was all playful and flirty. But things escalated fast, and those convos moved into private territory. According to Zach, it stopped being harmless real quick. And here's where it gets even more sketchy. Zach believes Evan only started really entertaining James like that after things ended with Kayla. Why? Because Evan was already soaking up attention just from being with Kayla, and once that ended, it seems like he saw an opportunity for more clout by getting involved with James. That's the vibe Zach was picking up, so it wasn't just messy, it was strategic.
Really quickly as well, you had also said that you believe that James had invited Evan to Coachella.
Yes. So I was aware that I witnessed the conversation of James saying that he's going to the first weekend of Coachella and that he buys his team or something, so many people, I don't know if it's his whole team or what, an artist wristband for Coachella. Well, he had bought Evan one. Obviously, Evan hadn't received it in the mail. I don't know if he was going to fly him there and give it to him. But the plan was for Evan to go to Coachella, and he was going to have an artist band. But the only thing is Evan was a little, nervous because he was, more likely, Kayla's going to be there. And it was going, back and forth. And then James is, they're trying to figure out how to work it out. But what stopped that is Kayla come forward to the world with her YouTube videos of 1 and 2. So, obviously, James was not going to take him to Coachella then, because that would be insane.
So it wasn't enough for James to just have been told privately from someone who was his friend for years that this person did horrible things to me. It was when it became public that it became an inconvenience to him, and he was willing to separate himself from Evan when it was a risk to his reputation.
Evan allegedly used the breakup as a launch pad to get closer to James, knowing it would keep him in the spotlight. And James? He either didn't see it or didn't care. Either way, the whole thing is sounding a lot less like a genuine connection and a whole lot more like calculated drama. And now it's all spilling out for the world to see. According to Zach, once Evan was done with Kayla, being with James was like his next big move to stay relevant and keep the attention going. That's how deep this clout-chasing game might have gone. And it didn't stop there. Zach revealed something wild. James allegedly wanted Kayla and Evan to do a Valentine's Day promo for his painted makeup brand. Yes, you heard that right. James wanted the couple to be part of his business promo, probably trying to capitalize on their relationship vibes. But here's the twist. When James found out they had already broken up, he reportedly joked with Kayla "So, can I have Evan then?" That's not just awkward, it's messed up. Then it got even more intense. Later on, Zach shared a DM that was allegedly from James, where James was asking him to delete a TikTok video. Why? Because in that video, Zach had accused James of both being involved with Evan and letting him stay at his place. James didn't like that narrative one bit and tried to shut it down. In the message, James was basically defending himself, saying he had no idea what was really going on. He claimed Evan manipulated him and that once he saw Kayla's video, he immediately cut ties. James allegedly wrote something like, "Hello, I'm just now seeing these. I'm absolutely not on his side and would really, really appreciate if you would leave me out of this. I only ever spoke to him because he manipulated me into thinking his situation was similar to what I went through, so it was a really personal and sensitive topic that I had empathy for." That message makes it sound like James is trying to distance himself as quickly as possible. But people aren't buying it so easily. If he really felt that strongly, why joke about taking someone's ex in the first place? The timeline is looking real suspicious right now. James allegedly followed up with another message saying, "As soon as I saw Kayla's video, I felt disgusting and awful, and I've stopped responding to him altogether. He's obviously manipulating and lying to everyone. I should have never even spoken to him. But you were in the car with him, so I don't think it's fair you're making a video accusing me of being some monster when he had you convinced too." He also added, "I'm sorry I didn't see your messages sooner. I wish I had, but I appreciate you reaching out to warn me. I'm at Coachella right now, but if you want to talk later today or tomorrow, I can make myself available." Now here's the thing. James saying Evan made it seem like they shared similar struggles just sounds like damage control. He's basically saying, I related to him because people lied on my name too. Remember, James has said in the past that people were dishonest with him about their age and used him for attention, but he's never denied messaging them. His defense has always been, I didn't know how old they were. So now it kind of looks like James is trying to twist this whole situation to fit into his old narrative. But the problem is, people aren't forgetting the details, and the internet's not buying these excuses anymore. So this whole "our situations were similar" excuse, it's not really making sense. If James thought the things being said about Evan weren't true, then that means he basically didn't believe Kayla, his friend, and instead sided with her ex. That's a huge red flag. No matter how you look at it, James just isn't coming out of this looking good. And now he's trying to flip it on Zach, like, well, you were friends with Evan too, so who are you to call me out? But Zach's not backing down. He's putting James on blast for being a bad friend and not holding himself accountable. The difference is, Zach's owning his past. He admitted he was close with Evan, but he's doing the work now to stand by Kayla and help get her story out. Meanwhile, James? He's trying to sweep it all under the rug like nothing happened. It's clear he's more worried about how he looks than doing what's right. Later in their convo, Zach also brings up Evan's sexuality, saying he always felt it was clear Evan was straight. And that opened up another convo because this is starting to look like a pattern with James. People are seriously questioning his behavior, and it's starting to feel way too familiar. Zach also mentioned that, at one point, he thought James was planning to bring Evan to Coachella. Yeah, that Coachella. But with all the drama spilling out, that plan clearly didn't happen. And honestly, thank goodness it didn't. This point, James is catching heat from every direction. People are saying loud and clear, he hasn't changed. No matter how many rebrands or new product launches he does, the behavior, still the same. And this whole situation is just straight up messy. It's been going on for years now, and it feels like James just refuses to learn. Most people aren't even watching him because they support him. They're just curious to see what chaos comes next. And every time he gets called out, James plays the same card. I was used and manipulated, but let's be real, at some point you gotta stop blaming everyone else. Like, how are you still finding yourself in these exact same situations? It's not random. If you keep choosing people with messy reputations, especially your friend's ex, that's on you. This time, he doesn't just look careless. He looks straight up shady, and people are over it. So that's the tea on everything that's been said about James so far. It's a lot to take in, and it just keeps getting messy, eh? I'm seriously curious, what do you think about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to hear everything. Love you all so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!